Well, our next guest has survived worse than the weather that we've been dealing with lately. She's been, believe it or not, robbed at gunpoint. She's overcome 5 miscarriages, battled bulimia, and traveled through some of the most dangerous corners of the world. But it was these life experiences that have contributed to her fearless approach to life. Margie Warrell is the author of the book Find Your Courage, 12 Acts for Becoming Fearless at Work and in Life. She's here to share the tools that you need to act courageously in your professional and personal life. Margie, great to see you. Welcome to the 10 Show.
Thank you.
Hopefully you made it here without any problems today.
I did. It was smooth sailing.
When did you realize that you were a courageous person?
Well, I guess when I realized that the definition of courage wasn't the absence of fear and self-doubt, but action in the presence of it. Because, you know, I've had lots of self-doubts. I've certainly experienced fear many times, and I still do. But really, it's just stepping forward in action, despite all those little voices in the back of our head that go, don't do it, don't do it. You might make a fool of yourself. You might fail. You mightn't have what it takes. And just stepping forward anyway.
So there are people who we all know that are scared of everything. And then there are people that are in the middle between courageous and fearless, who they're not fearful, but they're not stepping out either. So how do you know personally when you're courageous then? I mean, there are some people out there watching us right now who are looking for courage in these tough times.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now people are feeling a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainty about what the future holds. And I think it's important to realize fear isn't a bad emotion. It's not like we aspire not to have fear, because it tries to keep us safe and protect us. But it's whether or not we're giving fear the power to run our lives. And asking ourselves, am I doing the things I need to do that allow me to be more successful and get the results I want? Whether it's in our relationships, or it's in our work and dealing with colleagues, or in any area of our life. And so I think it's just really important to be mindful of, are these fears moving me forward or holding me back?
Are a lot of people scared of things that they can't control?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, I think about the serenity prayer, you know, give me the wisdom to know the difference between what I can change and what I can't change. And right now, when people are feeling really anxious, and obviously there's millions of people around the globe feeling very anxious right now and fearful, but just taking that moment to ask myself, what is it that I can control? Focus your energy, your time, your conversations on things that we can do and we can control, rather than all those things that are really completely outside of our control.
You've boiled it down to 12 acts that can lead to a fearless life: taking responsibility, living with integrity, challenging your stories. What does challenge your stories mean?
Well, you know, as human beings, we live in our stories. We all have our opinion about how things are, about who we are, what's possible for us, the way the world works. And our stories can really profoundly hold us back. And I always say to people, if there's an area of your life that's not working for you, if it's your marriage, if it's your job, have a look at the story that you have, because that's determining all the actions you're taking, and that's ultimately determining the results you're getting. So we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are, and our stories are so profound in our experience of life. So I really encourage people, challenge your stories. What are those assumptions that you're living under that really could be keeping you from doing and being all you aspire to?
I want to put the other 6 acts that you talk about in your book up here. Take action, persevere, say no. It takes courage to say no.
Oh, you know, I have 4 kids and I want to be involved in their school. I love to be out socializing with friends. I love writing. I love speaking. I love coaching. You know, we all have lots of things we want to do, but sometimes we have to say no to the good to make room for the great. But unless you're really clear on what that bigger thing is you want to say yes to, you're going to find it really hard saying no to all the other stuff. Obviously, when we say yes to too many things, we end up being kind of burnt out and stretched too thin. And I think when it comes to saying no, you know, you can say no to something and still feel okay about what you've done, because you know you're having integrity to the other things and values that you hold dear.
Margie Warrell saying no to fear and yes to courage. Find your courage, 12 acts for becoming fearless at work and in life. And she wants everybody in the audience to say yes to, because you brought a copy of your book for everybody in our audience today.
I did.
Margie, thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you.
Take care.
Feeling better already.
Good, you do that.
We'll be back with more of the 10 Show.